We're all about the Archers. I'm Philippa.
I'm Quentin.
And we're here to talk to you all about what's happened so far this week. We'll be focusing particularly on the episodes of Sunday the 2nd, Monday the 3rd, and tonight, Tuesday the 4th of November. There will be spoilers, you have been warned. Quentin, thoughts?
Well, the Reverend Alan would be very pleased. I'm wearing a poppy for a start. There you go.
Well done.
Mick, I think, should really speak his mind, frankly. He both barrels, wasn't it, to George? Blimey, wow.
He really did, yeah.
Scum, brash. This is in the vestry, for goodness sake. No, well, in the choir, at the least. It's in the church. I didn't know what to make of Mick. Half of me thought, good for you. He just was honest and straightforward. The other half of me thought, well, just take a moment, take a beat here, Mick, and maybe listen to what Susan's saying. How did you feel about Mick?
Yeah, Mick doesn't seem to have dealt still with the awful scenes that he witnessed when the car went into the river. So I understand it, but I just found it very interesting comparing him to Susan, who was bending over backwards to allow George anything, even when he said, don't call me, when she called him love, and he said, don't call me that. She's just... It's going overboard, and Mick is the exact opposite. So I feel like we had a lesson in compare and contrast.
Well, I mean, Susan's attitude has caused quite a bit of a conversation, shall we say, because she's so desperate to repair her relationship with her grandson that she is so submissive, isn't she? She's grateful for any contact. Hats off to Neil for giving her a bit of a reality check and saying, are you sure that she's not manipulating again? And I thought that moment you picked out when you said, don't call me love. I mean, he was Jekyll and Hyde, wasn't he? He was hostile, aggressive, don't call me love, went out, and about 5 seconds later, he said, hold on, here's a potential opportunity, comes back and is all nicey, can I be a volunteer? So the red flags are out, Philippa. They are lined up all the way to the church.
I don't know. I've got a red flag up, but I don't know. I just keep hoping that this is just George being, he was nervous when Mick came in. He was shaking when he was trying to think about the protein bars. You could hear it in his voice. And
to be fair, he wasn't aggressive back to Mick.
No.
He was conciliatory, which impressed me. Other red flag I was worried about was several mentions of the till. You got George manning the shop. He's desperate for money. He's volunteering. He's not paid. I'm worried about the till.
If he does, I mean, he is at such a crossroads now.
Yeah.
Does he? It's like this sliding doors that we've talked about in other episodes. There are two very different ways George could go, and that there's a in between as well. And it's very interesting. It's not like Clive, where we knew exactly what he was and what he stood for or didn't. With George, we're again being given this sort of conflicting picture of what he really stands for now.
Yes.
Very interesting.
Yes, and I mean, in a way, it's like opportunity knocks for George at the moment, because he's been offered a chance to work in the shop by his grandmother, and obviously Helen and Tom are minded to ask him to look after the Bridge Farm. And then Tom says, I've got it, let's ask Mick. And you and I both had the same reaction, thinking, what farming experience does Mick have? Nothing.
I've used so many exclamation marks in my notes tonight. They need to go back to the one sensible person in that house, which is Henry, and ask Henry to what he thinks about it, and he will correct them and say Mick is the worst idea possible.
Do you know who I'd ask? I think I'd probably ask Akram. He's learning farming skills at Mulligan's.
George is the right person. George is the right person to ask. The first day I was shouting, saying George.
Yes.
And then that will be the test.
Yes. That
really will reveal.
But why? How do you go from George, who has experience on the farm, to Mick?
Because Mick can spot someone suspect. He's got a uniform with lapels that Joy's made. He knows how to work a hot tub. Perfect calibre that Tweedledee and Tweedledum
Classic
have decided.
Tom. Anyway, Alice is chilled about George doing it, although Helen suspects she's not, hence the leap to Mick. But to be fair, it's difficult for Alice, but I thought she meant it, although it was painful for her to say, fine, you ask him.
I'm always hard on Alice, and I thought she was a bit clueless. It was obvious who they were talking about. She was like, oh, who do you mean? But there we
Yes.
go. I'm just bitter and twisted. But yeah,
Right,
she seemed fine, and that was good.
we need to talk about that. Again, it's split the room. The entertaining or excruciating scene with Tom and Helen getting drunk. Where do you fall on that?
Yeah, it's the one time I have loved hearing them. I thought particularly Louisa, who plays Helen, sometimes when people play drunk, it's just so contrived and ridiculous and winds me up. Whereas I was actually laughing with Helen. Just it felt like they were having so much fun recording it. And there was some real guffawing going on. So I enjoyed it. It's the only time I've enjoyed hearing them.
I squirmed, but then I thought it's made a nice change to hear Helen having some fun. And, she and Tom, for all their mutual irritations, clearly like and love each other. It was a nice sort of sisterly, brotherly moment. But it's all a bit embarrassing as well. I mean, Tom made some reference, some joke, which I didn't get. Again, I didn't. Was it a joke? I didn't get it. Well, I'd hardly heard it. Like I missed his reference to Mick tonight. What? I didn't know what the joke was.
A sandwich goes into the bar.
Yes.
And Jolene says, sorry, we're not serving food today. So,
now I've got it. The way you say it, I get it now. I thought the joke, it was terrible, but I just enjoyed some of the laughter from Helen. Was very good. The other thing
I loved him.
Sorry, the other thing I could not get my head around is, if she's going out on a date with Dane, why does she invite Tom along?
Because Henry offered to do a week's washing dishes and doing the dishwasher.
But you wouldn't bring your brother on a date.
Yeah, but you poor Henry. All he wants to do is sit and read a book, and he's got Tom blithering on.
Oh, no, Tom was blitheringly...
Henry.
Yeah, but if you were going out on a date, you wouldn't want your brother with you, would you?
It's the least that woman can do for her son. Trust me.
Well, I beg your belief to me, anyway. So it was one of those that it was nice but squirmy, I thought. But it was nicely. I thought it was nicely acted by Louisa. I thought she was a good drunk.
Yes.
And convincingly hungover as well.
Can we just mention about Henry wanting to just not be with his uncle and read a book? I do wonder. We're heading into the year of reading next year, so I do wonder if that's going to be followed by the Archers. We had the mentions last week of Joy reading a book and Tracy reading a book. And Lauren and I did say, what books do you think they were reading? Well, Sarah Heher, who wrote last week, very kindly responded to say, we thanked her for it. And she said, you're welcome. She said, Tracy is reading Small Things Like These by Claire Keegan, great book. And Joy's thriller, her page turner, is The Safe Place by Anna Dowes. Thank you very much, Sarah. Our questions are answered.
Marvellous.
Yes, very good.
That proves she must listen to this podcast.
We did tag her on social media.
We dragged her in. But
it was great to have that.
The film we've got to get is Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure from 1989 on DVD.
Sounds like Helen and Tom's Excellent Adventure in Glasgow. Not Glasgow, in Scotland, I should say. Can we talk about Scotland? Alice said she's waiting to hear from Hazel. Is she expecting Hazel to go on this trip?
There was such a long list.
And James.
Who are they?
Yes.
Who are they? Who the hell?
James is Lillian's son, and Leonie is Linda's daughter-in-law, stepdaughter.
That's it. And she doesn't really get on with them. That's it. Yeah. And also Phoebe got a mention. Are we going to hear from Phoebe? I haven't heard from her for
poor
years.
Phoebe, heavily pregnant.
Yeah. We need to. I mean, the one thing I would say about Henry is that he's getting a bit like a grumpy teenager, fair dues, but he's becoming a bit like the Safi character in Ab Fab, isn't he? That the child parents the parents.
Yeah, he's the most mature one in that house. Can I just mention, though, Pat and Tony, not only are they going to be looking after Henry and Jack, they're also looking after the twins. Natasha and Tom are leaving the girls there and going off to Scotland.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, dear.
It's all fine. It's all fine. Carly clearly really fancies Chris. Carly, there's obviously they've got history. Apart from him throwing up in the phone box, they've obviously had a little bit of a relationship in the past, and Jolene's telling her, go for it. So how's that going to play out?
And Oliver's returned from the shortest trip to New York.
To New York?
Ever known? Was he there for an hour?
Yeah. But do you think Carly and Chris are going to get it together?
to be honest, I'm just a bit fed up with it. Every time there's a random woman and a random man, it's, are they going to be?
But there did seem to be, there did seem to be a bit more there, I thought. I did.
Yeah, I want more book reading with Henry, to be honest.
And Chris was giving more. I mean, in the past, he's been a bit hands-off with women who've made a move on him, but I think he was interested, was my take on Chris and Carly. Yeah.
So who's your star of the week? Or have you got anything else you need to bring to the table?
They're having haggis, by the way, for Brian's birthday in Scotland. I thought you'd approve. Haggis.
Yuck.
I thought my star of the week is Neil, because whatever Neil says, I agree with on the whole. But I thought it was good that he gave Susan a reality check, and he's rarely wrong, is our Neil. I hope he's wrong in this case, that maybe George is going to make good, but we shall see. But it was interesting seeing Susan go from submissive to very assertive with Neil and very assertive with Mick. And Alan praised her professionalism. So we're seeing all sides to Susan at the moment. She wasn't averse to standing up to Neil, which is rare. She normally accepts what he says. So, star, Neil. Star is Neil for me. You?
Excellent. Mine is Henry. He's mature. He's different, threatening to report his mother to social services.
And
yes, reads books. Lovely.
He declared Tom to be boring and very bad at games. He's
Who's
a fine judge of character, that young man. Who's my twit? Well,
yes.
Can you guess?
Which, if you had to choose one?
For me, there's only one. It's Tom. I mean, it's Tom all the way through.
Yes, I've written Tom, Helen and George.
Oh, right. I wrote Tom always is whenever he's on. Trying to bond with Henry, DVD films, going on Helen's date with Dane, and now suggesting Mick to look after Bridge Farm. So take your pick. It's Tom. Yeah.
Predictions.
Well, unfortunately, Mick's outburst took away my prediction. But I said we're going to have some interesting encounters between George and villagers, and we have already had one. So I suppose the one we're all anticipating is when Alice walks in the shop.
Yes.
Yes.
And whether Mick will end up at Bridge Farm or George, I suppose, but we will see.
Call Akram if you don't.
Joy, because she's so skilled at everything.
Yeah, Joy. Absolutely. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, she solves everything. Yeah, she can do anything. Yeah.
She's probably got a city and guilds in farming as well.
Oh, yeah.
So all right.
Yes. What's your prediction then?
Yeah, just a little prediction about the funeral this week. I'm predicting that Esme will go to pieces and David has to run the whole funeral as well as running the farm and milking the cows and doing everything else. I predict the Scotland trip will be a disaster. George, if he works at Bridge Farm, will be a disaster. And George at the shop will be a disaster.
Do you? I think he'll be very successful at Bridge Farm. He'll go out his way to do it well. And he'll get paid.
Then it won't be a disaster.
Before we sign off, can I just say, make sure you see my photo with Philip Moss. He's out. It's on our Facebook group. Yeah, I've caught up with Philip Moss in Coventry.
Did you say anything about the Archers?
We might have spoken a little bit about the Archers, yes. He's still in contact with Annabelle, who plays Kirsty. So they talk often, which is nice, isn't it? Yes.
That's very nice.
I tried to see if he's trying to find out if he's coming back. He gave nothing away. He's in for 8 years, so he's still inside.
He's got... Well, on that note, we will be back next week with more of our madness. Until then, it's a goodbye from me.
And it's a goodbye from me. Bye.
Goodbye, everyone.